You too. What's up, man? What's up, man? Listen, you guys really, really went in on me on this Candace Owens thing, talking about LeBron James' school. That's fine. I'm really here for the conversations. So keep it coming, please. Uh, Listen, I don't have to agree 100% with what Candace Owens says. I like Candace Owens. I'm subscribed to her channel. Uh, there's some things that I feel that she's very on about, and that's cool. Some things I think she's off about, and that's cool. Um, when you're talking about anything that has to do with people and putting people in place, you are talking about entrusting people so you can focus on something else. So you are putting people in place to do their job, right? Um, and nobody addressed um, really the main part of the video, which is kind of even more concerning. It's not the fact that Candace criticized LeBron James' school. She tried to demean him as a person. One, saying everything that she said is basically saying, shut up and dribble. Because these are her words. LeBron James is great at basketball. He's very entertaining, and he's been given his God-given gift to be so athletic. But nobody should listen to him. Nobody should follow him. Why do we? She said something, but basically, she took the most elegant way to say, "Shut up and dribble." That's one. Two is is when you're talking about lower class communities, which I don't believe that LeBron James had a black school, so that's why I never put race into it. Um, Somebody made a comment about the Trump era. Martha Saunders, 3844. Um, I'm talking about, we were better up under the Trump administration. Open your eyes and not your mouth. Last thing, ask LeBron James to come hang out with you and see how that works out. What does that have to do with anything that I referenced in the video, which was pretty much when are the parents going to get more involved? And the reason why I said the parents is because what? All growing up, and what you see in the news is the reason why people in the urban communities can't succeed is because they have lack of access and lack of resources, right? Okay, so boom. To to me, and for those who like algebra, sometimes you have to solve for x to solve for y, right? You have to solve for x to solve for y. Sometimes it depends on how the problem is set up. So if one of the variables being x was resources, okay, let's put some resources there. If one of the variables was lack of access to knowledge, okay, so we're gonna put access to knowledge there. You know what I'm saying? If one of the variables for X was, parents don't have time to spend with their kids because they're working so much. Okay, so now he's built housing that people can afford for all the people that go to his school, and in hopes that those parents will now reallocate that time back to their children and help them with their homework and help them study and help them get good habits about just seeking opportunities and always wanting to learn more, because now they have the time to actually do that. Well, so what you have is somebody that's trying to pretty much knock away all the variables, right? We're knocking out all the x variables. We are solving all the x variables to eventually solve the y, right? Because it's like, why are the kids not learning this, and this? Okay, let's change this, and this. in a time that it changed. I think we live in a popcorn society. You know that we have all heard this growing up. It's the microwave, it's the streaming, it's the this, it's the that, and everybody wants instant results. Um, and it wasn't only black kids that went to that school. So that's why I never said race. It was mostly black kids, but then, to be honest, he was serving at-risk students, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, so at-risk students is a different thing, and from my knowledge, they had to cap off the amount of students that were coming there, and 10% of which they knew had a learning disability anyway, right? And the reason why I put it on the parents is because, for instance, do you guys talk to y'all student counselors at y'all schools? Do you guys realize that some kids don't want to go home? Do you guys realize that sometimes school is all they have? Do you guys realize that some of the behavior patterns is when the students come in to the school, they have a behavior because they just left some crap at home that has their mind in a chaotic state. And then sometimes you have students that have behaviors before they go home because they really don't want to go back home. I told you guys I did not grow up in the best situations, but one thing that my parents made sure that I did was learn. They push learning. They push learning from a different standpoint. Like, you can learn from anything. That's what my dad always told me. You can learn from anything. You can learn from anyone. You can learn from a successful person. You can learn from a failure. Like, that's what I was taught. Don't wait for people to give you the information. So guess what? In the schools that I went to, we had to share books, and we weren't allowed to take books home. So what I would do is some of the classes, you know what I'm saying, that I realized that even though that we were sitting side by side sharing books, it was like 3 extra books. So I would go and I would ask, can I take a book home? And they told me, come back after school. So shout out to Mr. Frank for letting me take my math book home. But he told me don't bring it back to the end of the year because he doesn't want people to know that he let me take a book home. Shout out to Miss Wiley for the ones that I couldn't take home. She used to let me bring the books down to the office, and she used to let me copy the books on those long sheets of paper, so I could fold them up so it was just like it was a book. But she would only let me do it once a week and at certain times because she said that we can't afford to do this for all the students. I can name all my teachers. I don't recall not one teacher, because I wanted to learn and because I was very adamant about getting my hands on information. I don't recall not one teacher, white or black, telling me no, or telling any students no that really wanted to learn. All I can remember is teachers giving more and more and staying on me more and pushing me to do better. And I just was accepting their challenge. But mainly it was because of how my parents instilled learning in me. I told y'all I grew up in listen. So me calling parents to task is not me giving LeBron James school, raving reviews like it's the best thing ever. No, what I'm saying is, okay, he's solving for X part by part, so he can get to the Y, in hopes that the Y variable will change by the time that he gets done chipping away at all the things. So now we got the resources, we got the access to information and knowledge. And I don't know if I said this in my last video. I tell my kids all the time, I did not grow up with a computer in the home. I got my first computer in the home, which was a Dell 256. And we had AOL dial-up, and it was so darn slow, and it used to go by the screen. It used to load up line at a time. And if somebody called, that page, you had to wait for the phone call to end, and then you had to reload the page. You know what I'm saying? Listen, some things won't be perfect. Okay, I'm not saying that his school doesn't need to do better. I'm not saying that he's above criticism. Nobody's above criticism. Okay, I don't have to agree with 100% with what Candace Owens says. I just don't. Sometimes she's spot on, and then sometimes like she's like off, way off. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's like, you know, she could sometimes, I think she willfully doesn't mention certain things to prove a point, right? Now this is just me talking, and just like you guys didn't like, some of y'all didn't like what I said, which is cool because I'm here for conversation. But one of the things that I don't like doing is, because you have so many people talking, it's so much lip service, right? That I don't like to criticize the doers. I would rather help the doers do more. And it's just like, it's not just, you know, Bron James. There's another YouTuber, I think his name is Mr. Beast, and somebody came out with, like, you know, videos of, you know, well, he's just exploiting these people, and like he's getting money. Yes, he is getting money off of the views from the YouTube channel, but he's also doing stuff for free for people. He's a doer. He found a way to not charge people to do something. Just like the one guy that cuts the grass, SB Mowers. People are like, oh, well, he's not really doing it for free. He gets paid off of the YouTube views. Okay, but is he charging the people? And then he gets paid because people like to see people cutting grass. He's still going out doing the work, and he's not charging people for it. So I don't like to criticize doers too much. It's like, yo, how can we help this person do better? And in Candace Owens' own words, people need to fail so they can get better. Okay, so listen. He put his resources out there. He put his school out there. Okay, it's not doing too hot. So guess what? He failed. Now, this is when we could go back to the drawing board. This is when he can make certain phone calls. And if the people who are criticizing him so much have solutions, i.e. Candace Owens, because she is probably able to reach out to him or his people, and they know who she is, if she has solutions or if she knows people that can help, because we are talking about kids here, right? So if some people say, why am I emotional about the subject, even though I'm not, but thank you. But we are talking about kids here. And like I said in the first video, it's not the time to be right. It's the time to, okay, he's put some things on the table. How can we add to this? If everybody really wants the country that everybody said that they want, you know what I'm saying? Then why don't we start helping more instead of criticizing more? In these certain instances, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, criticize, okay, but criticize it, but you know, what does him not being able to say what he read in the Malcolm X book have to do with anything? What does him not being the smartest person in the room have to do with anything? It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the smartest person in the room to start solving a problem that you see. Give what you can, and then we'll pick up the rest along the way. I mean, you will hear all these people on YouTube telling people, if you think about doing something, don't think too long, or you're going to talk yourself out of it. Just jump in. Jump in and pick up along the pieces, as you go. You know what I'm saying? Just pick up the pieces as you go. Cut out what don't work. Put in what does work. If you see something that's not working, change it. Like this is not an easy task. So that's what I'm saying. You guys can disagree. LeBron James is not absolved of any criticism. I will highlight the fact that, yes, he did get married to one woman and does have kids by one woman, doesn't get in any trouble. No, these things are not automatic, because if they were automatic, then everybody would do them. His kids aren't out here wilding out. Yes, those are positive things that for the people that put race into my comments about the black community and about the black school, even though it's not a black school. Okay. So if you put race into my comments, then you know what people have been labeling black men for the past 40, 50, 60 years. So yes, I will highlight that. Because this country in general has the most single parent households in the whole world. So that's not automatic. These things are not automatic. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all crazy for thinking that these things are automatic, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. LeBron is solving for X to solve for Y. I think that the only Y that's left, which is the most important Y, is the parents, is the children's home, which he's also doing that. So the other question is, what are you doing? What are you helping with? What is Candace Owens doing? I don't know. She could be doing great. I don't know. She don't put her business out there all like that. She has a great show. I love the production. I love the lighting. Cameras is top notch. I think she got like 8K cameras. That's cool. And coming from somebody that used to work with teenagers that run away from home, I had a music studio out on a very busy street, and my suite was on the top floor. So I used to see these kids, and then one of the owners of the program came to me, and she started talking to me. And then, so what I used to do was I used to open up my studio for like 3 hours once a week, and I used to let the kids come in. I would teach them how to play the piano, teach them how to program music, let them record music, teach them how to use music software. Because these were teens that just didn't, want to go home. They will run away from home. So these kids are going through a lot. All right, that's what you guys aren't realizing. These kids are going through a lot. Some of these kids are suffering so much that they use school as a break, so they can relax, so they can calm down. But they're only there for 8 hours, and then sometimes like they spend so much time calming down and decompressing. Now it's time to go back home, and they haven't learned anything. That's why I said, yeah, they go to that nice school, but they still gotta go home and face whatever they're facing. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hey, I like all your comments. When I do a live show, I do want people to come and tell me what you guys think in person. Like, well, not in person, but like over the internet. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I, I'm welcoming it for any topics that I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I want it to be entertaining, but I want us to look at things a little bit differently. Some of you guys actually did make me look at things a little differently. So much so that I actually started doing research about what percentages of the students were black, which is 58%, right? And what school, what's the rank of the school, and a whole bunch of other things that, because I don't have my computer set up because I'm still moving, I didn't get into. But at the end of the day, everything that I said is still true. You may not like it. You may want to attack, oh, year one, year two, year three. Listen, these are people involved, and you can't make kids learn at a different rate than what you want them to, especially if their home life is messed up. So, you know, let me know what you got in the comments. I'm tired. It's been a long day, but I didn't want to stay off this topic too long because hopefully tomorrow I'm going to be dropping a video about something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So, till next time, guys.